For over 50 years, people have come to see the Sharks play. Talent, skill, speed, intelligence, elite-level athleticism. That's not these guys. Biased, one-eyed, opinionated, more often wrong than right. They make up for their complete lack of talent with pure dribble, gibberish, and enthusiasm. This is the ET Stand Podcast.
Catchers win matches. Sharks, well, they can't win anything. Can't even catch the damn ball. Welcome to the ET Stand. This is the Debrief, where we instant reaction what we just saw. I've been live down at Shark Park, and I am live from my parents' place down in Boronia Bay. Lats, who had the misfortune of watching live at home, joins me, Scott Latino. Before I get your instant reaction, I just want to say this from our sponsors. If you want to minimize your losses during tax season, then maybe you should call Solve Accounting because they can help you out. And you know who should call Solve Accounting? The Sharks should call Solve Accounting because you need to minimize your losses because quite frankly, it's just not good enough. Why, Sharks? Like I wasn't confident coming in, Lats, but I wasn't expecting a 30-point flogging. What's your reaction?
Yeah, mate, that was just absolute crap. Frustrating, strangling to watch, mate. It was just absolute rubbish. The fact that you think Nico's a B+ grade halfback is laughable because he gets a big fat F from me, mate. That was absolute crap, and it's not good enough. The whole team were horrendous, and mate, I think our season's shot. We're gone.
Well, it's maybe not shot, but we're just not good enough to beat the top couple of teams. And so, sure, we had a spirited match against the Storm, but where was the spirit tonight? It's like just nothing.
There was nothing, mate. Not to mention losing Kale Iro for what looks to be
What
months.
happened to Kale Iro? Do you know what happened to Kale Iro?
I think it looks like a torn pec.
Oh,
so you're talking a long stint on the sideline there for one of our most consistent players, and he played pretty well tonight until he was injured. Mate, we're just busted. Look at Sione. Sione couldn't even walk through most of that match. We've got Hiroti living up to the hype that I always thought he lived up to. He's busted. His knee's shot. We've got
his knee is shot, isn't it?
Yeah, but not to mention he is horrendous under that high ball with anyone contesting it. How we didn't get penalised tonight from running Zalesniak and the likes off the ball, I'll never know. But it proved it. Tupou exposed it, a couple of weeks ago against the Roosters, and mate, they're going to target him. Dragons will target him next week, and I'm not even confident going into that game.
Even though the Dragons got pumped. All right, look, we're going to get the StreamYard link in the comments. There it is. I've just thrown it up. If you would like to join the show and have your say, look, there's only one angry person on this show, and it's me, so try not to be too angry and swear too much, but I have a feeling we've got some rants incoming. So let's go through the comments. And can I just say to the legend who cheered me up on the way out of the ground, this guy just comes up and he says, "It's Boldo's tears." And I kid you not, like, I can love your podcast. I just want to say to you, I didn't catch your name because I was running off. You are an absolute legend. And so anyone who's going through this stuff, it's just a terrific thing that we, Lats, me, and our buddies get to do. So this is the ET Stand Podcast. If you're new to the channel, hit the like and subscribe button. Give us a like to cheer us up because, quite frankly, the Sharks suck. And yeah, I don't know. I'm meant to be. I'm hosting the trivia on Wednesday night, Lats, down at.
Was that you?
Sharks. Yeah, it's me.
I thought it was David Bolderman.
Yeah, it's David Boldo. yeah, it's that guy. All right. Now we also have the prize for the best comment. Goes in the draw to win the displayware.com.au unit that Lats has got in the background there with the classic ET jersey. So let's go through the comments. If you want to join the show, get involved. So Samoan Metalhead set up the Wires Boldo. Good game. But especially with Sam Healy against his old club. That was pre-match. Samoan Metalhead, it wasn't. It sucked. Mike Knight is in the comments saying that he's ready to vomit. Yeah, well, that's pretty. And you know what else sucked for me tonight, Lats? I was freaking late into the game. And you know why I was late into the game? Because Franco wanted a potato and gravy. I kid you not. He got a potato and gravy. Franco. He like,
was that to dip the sausage in that he got from the the wiener stand or whatever it is.
No, he's off the wiener stand. All right, the rest of the
Is he?
comments, let's go through them. Let's go through them. Anyway, buddy, Franco, I know you're going to join later too. Gigaplex is in the comments saying another disgraceful performance. This team is average at best and consistently disappointing. And then sorry, Samoan Metalhead is saying sorry, Sharks fans. But then saying, Waz fan, I love Boldo. I would love to have a two he's new with the bloke up the Waz. Oh, thanks, mate. Well, good luck to you guys. I got to admit, so let's just talk about one thing that's a shining light for the Waz. That was just a sheer endorsement for Metcalf, I thought. That's how good did he look?
Mate, he was a gun. He was a gun, setting everything up. Mate,
Yeah.
the one that got away, he put both of our halves to shame. Mate, that's heartbreaking to watch. I thought young Healy was good as well. I thought he was quick out of dummy half, and he was good.
Yeah, so the Waz Up TV boys asked us, would you take a straight swap, Metcalf and Nico Hines right now, even at the dollar factor? And so obviously Metcalf's not getting anything like the dollars that Nico Hines is getting. He just looks, goodness me, Metcalf at $500,000 a year on that salary cap would be pretty handy. Definitely.
I'd straight swap him on Nico's money. I'd give him Nico's money for a straight swap. We'd get more out of him. Let me tell you, Nico's kicking tonight was absolute shit. It was disgusting. Mate, he's so unorganised. Just he was like a deer in headlights.
Well, there's a whole bunch of unorganisation. All right, gang, in the comments, help us out. Tell us the key moments from the match. I got a whole bunch of notes, but let's just go through your comments. And so this one from Brad Lewis. He calls out that the Milestone jinx strikes again. Have we ever won someone's Milestone game? I can't remember the last Milestone game that we might have won. As soon as it came out in the ET stand tonight, someone said, oh, it's Brayley's 150th. You just knew that we were cooked. We're going to have to get Williams to go back. Why is it, Lats, that we just can't seem to win the Milestone matches?
I don't know. The guys just don't want to put in for them or something. I don't know what it is. Their attitude was terrible. We just looked lackluster and unorganised. We didn't know what to do when we were in the opposition 20, and we were in there a fair bit. But there were gaps everywhere. We couldn't find them, but they were there. I don't know, mate.
Did the lack of effort or just the flatness come through in the television broadcast?
Oh, mate, it was so frustrating to watch. I thought the first half it was okay. It was okay. I thought we were.
No, we were lucky to be. We were lucky to be in it.
But I thought we were on the back of a pretty hefty penalty count. They had a few leg ups, but mate, we were in it up until half time. That second half was strangling. Like it was just. I had hope at half time, and then as soon as they came out that first 10-minute stint, I knew we were not going to win that, and we were going to lose it by a margin.
Well, they just put a lot of points on us while AFB was off, didn't they?
Yeah.
And so then he's coming on and it's not quite good enough. George Todd is asking the question. He didn't know that AFB was still on the Wild's payroll. What were AFB's numbers like?
I've got them just here, man. I'll have a look.
Yeah, what were they like?
As we speak.
I certainly didn't think it was one of his better games.
No, he had a 64-minute stint. He had 13 runs for 126 run meters. He had 24 kick return meters, 48 post contact meters, which is up there. Jesse Ramian actually had more post contact meters.
He had just as many drop balls as he had bloody post contact meters. Yep,
he had a tackle break and 9 hit ups. His play the ball speed was about 3 seconds. So he actually had probably the quickest play the ball speed on the park. But apart from that, mate, pretty I don't know, just pretty lackluster and pretty plain.
Yeah, I think
especially he talked it up. He talked it up on Fisher Harris all week, and he didn't look, mate. He didn't look dangerous tonight at all. I didn't.
They somewhat contained him.
A bit stronger than he did. Yeah.
Well, the problem with that loss for us now, it brings us back to just the chasing pack. So it'll put a distance between us and the top four. So it's going to be really difficult for the Sharkies to clip a top four spot now, which means that we'll play an 8th team that'll be coming in hot into the semi-finals. The Sharks as a 5th place team can easily lose to 8th. And then going into week 2, we're going to be away to the Warriors at the Raiders anyway. So, as Craig Gearin points out in the comments here, definitely not a top 4 team after the last 2 games. making up the numbers. Guys, in the comments, is the Sharks season over? Or are we still in it? Who knows? All right, let's keep going through these. As George Todd comments here, he says, Craig, 4 points off Storm for fourth, a lot to catch up on. It's going to be difficult, George, isn't it? 2.0 is warning us that there's a rant incoming from him. So, look, if you would like to get in ahead of him, please do and join the show. You can get involved in the show by clicking on this link here in the comments. New callers, anyone wants to join us, you are more than welcome to come in and say g'day and maybe talk to us about that match. I just want to say to Mikhail, hey, brothers, yep, g'day. George Todd then comes in and says, I wouldn't say the Sharks are out. The Wires have only lost 3 all season. What do you think of the Warriors, Lats?
Mate, I thought defensively they all turned up. They were always attacking. They were always, their kick chases were great. Mate,
they were solid, weren't they?
They were both attack and defense, mate. Their scramble defense was brilliant tonight, and mate, they're just, I don't know, just the efforts were there where we just looked uninterested.
They've got Tuivasa Sheck, can't make fullback, and he's on their wing.
Yeah,
and we've got Maureen Harodi
with one leg.
With one leg. And then KL Lero going off. All right.
Yeah.
Scotty McLaren saying, let's be honest, Ueli wouldn't get a start for Sutherland under sixes next week. I just still think we've got the bench wrong and the impact. Ueli, I thought, played 10 minutes too many. He did, 30 minutes or so, I noticed?
His
Just
hands
playing
were
too many minutes.
He had some good runs when he came on, but he also came on with Talakai, so we noticed that impact a little bit more. Mate, I don't know. It's just these guys, like most other teams, they wouldn't be picked in first grade based on how they've played the last few weeks.
Yeah, but who do we bring in? Brad Lewis is saying that we bring in O'Hepper.
Well, you've got Tapua there too. Tapua looked awesome in the trials. He did a job for us last year. I just don't think we have the size. Energetic. No, but he's big. Like, he is big, Tapua. He's a big body and he's hard to handle. He's very similar sort of stature to Tommy Hazelden. Just that real lanky, heavy sort of player that can, break tackles and that. But look, we'll have Toby Rudolph back pretty soon, I reckon. I thought Teague was pretty good tonight coming back. I thought Nickera was pretty quiet.
He did cop a bit of a whack early on. Didn't he? He had a missed tackle for a try.
Yeah, mate, the whole team did. If you go make it happen, look at it, there was some really half-assed efforts there.
Tackle.
Yeah, it was pretty poor, mate.
What can you say? All right, we'll keep working through these comments. Stuart Campbell, g'day, Stewie, comes in, says, oh, goodness me. Stuart, did you have to remind me of this? All right, so Atkinson comes on for Iro, then gets hooked, and then Talakai's there and goes back on, and then they must have changed that backline setup like multiple times when Iro came off. Iro is our gun dude, but he even had errors in him. I just don't think, obviously it's a different sport. I coached my North Sydney team today in all age 2 soccer, and we just didn't have a plan for the subs. And you know what it reminded me of watching? I just don't know that if Fitzy's got the plan for how to use Atkinson, where he goes and how to use him and get the most out of that asset.
Shouldn't be using him at all, mate. He shouldn't be using him at all. We've got better options there. He comes on. We carry him on the bench in case there's an injury to an outside back. And Jimmy Munro, he pointed this out to me in one of our group chats, and he said, we lose an outside back, Talakai slots in, and he sniffs around the forwards and then comes off with no impact whatsoever. He couldn't even run down a forward when he made a break. Even for an ankle tap, he was drawn away from him. He's just, I can't see the point of having him in the team. We'll probably
he's a great squad player
now with injuries, but
just
unless he's playing half, he shouldn't be there.
Well, we saw Talakai at lock for a little bit, and so there's just a couple of times that they're also going to Talakai first receive. You're like, oh, goodness me. Like, what are they doing? And so 2.0 also comments, if I see one more short ball in the bloody fifth, I'm going to lose my SHIT. That happened at least twice. Maybe 3 times, just the fifth tackle option from Nico.
Yep.
Just
even
not
Nico
there.
getting caught with a ball. Nico getting caught with a ball quite often too. Like, I don't know. It's just, mate, we had nothing in us tonight. I don't know. There's an attitude problem there somewhere. I don't know if it has AFB upset the apple cart coming in. I don't know. He seems to be a bit of a solo player. I know he's a leader, but I don't know. Just the body language of the team, they don't look cohesive
They're just
at
a
all.
bit knackered from. It's a combination of stuff, lads. They're just a bit knackered from the Vegas trip and all of that. They haven't handled that well. They are missing a couple of players, and as we know, the Sharks don't typically do so well missing a couple of players. And so with Katoa being out, he's more important than you think, and the outside backs, they just don't seem to have it. And then the strategy of Atkinson, they don't seem to have nailed. And then none of our guys are in form. So remember how we used to talk up how good Nickera was playing? Well, he's a bit out of form now. And so we would say, it's a shame that I don't have access to the Boldo's tiers and bring up the players, but if I was doing them again now, you'd have to think, he'd have to go. We'd have to be backwards. All right, let's keep working through these comments. Stuart, you are to blame. Stuart Campbell in the comments is reminding us that since his son was born, we've been the worst team in the comp. I believe that's probably right. Just setting up your son for just a year of years of torment as a Sharks fan.
We did get 2 points last week.
We almost lost against the bye. Mikhail Marcus, not trying to be rude, but why does your number 7 throw short balls? What about the intercept? I guess the game was gone by then.
Yeah, but still, you've got for and against. It's a factor, and it will come down. It could come down to us. I don't think it's going to come down to us making the top 4, but it could come down to us having a second bite of the cherry in the 5 to 6 sort of the spot on the ladder. Mate, the effort should still be there. You don't throw half-assed passes just because the game's gone, which lead to intercept tries. It's not good enough, mate, at that level. They're getting paid. Look how much money Nico's getting paid. If I was getting paid at my job, I wasn't performing like that, there'd be disciplinary action. But I don't know. I don't know if Fitzy's holding these players to account. I don't know if they fear Fitzy. I don't know what it is, but Fitzy's got a real headache on his hands, and he's got some questions to answer. I don't know how long his press conference is going to go for tonight. I can't imagine it being too long.
If anyone's watching the press conference,
responses, they're not good enough, mate. They're not good enough. From coach to player, they're not good enough. How
does he approach Lats, the press conference? What should he do? You're the coach of the Sharks. You're thinking about, I'm going into the press conference. What's your plan?
I'd tear the team a new one in the press conference, mate. I would absolutely tell them a new one. None of this dismissive shit. We've had so many, weeks away from home, and that it's not good enough. He's got to go in there and fire up and put a rocket up the team and make them come out and perform next week. Because at this rate, I can't see us beating the Dragons.
That's probably fair. All right. Well, if you want to see something good, come down and see me at Sharks Trivia on Wednesday night down at Sharks at Cronulla. It starts at 6:30. And hot tip: there's a question about Toshio Lucini. So for anyone who watches this show, when there's an obscure question, you're wondering what the answer is. The answer is Toshio Lucini. All right, Ben Turner in the comments says, joke of a team. Too soon?
Not soon enough.
Benny, I don't know, maybe a little too soon. I'm going to put up Wilbo Boggins' comment, but I'm not going to say what he says. He's asking questions about how they get paid so much, but that's about as much as I'm going to say from them. And then, how do I say that name? Tilapapa Dave?
Tilapia Dave?
Tilapia Dave says, dang, cheating mullets, anyone but the mullets. Yeah, the mullets and the double. Oh, yeah, here he is. Here's Dub Corp. I'm still walking home, Boldo's tears. If you're the legend who was at the game at the start, you're my new hero. It's going to be tough to beat you for the comments this week, legend. All right. Here's Samoan Metalhead's back. I love you, Boldo. No homo. I don't want to get cancelled. All right, fair enough. I love your insight when you jumped up on the WAR-TV. Sharks lost the middle. Yeah, they did lose the middle, did they, Samoan Metalhead? They just didn't have. Well, it's the Warriors were good, to be fair. It's not like the Sharks were hopeless. The Warriors are a good team, dude. So
they're consistent.
That's where
they're consistent.
Consistent, and even losing Mitch Barnett, they had all the reasons in the world to have the excuses, didn't they? Yeah, they even noticed they were missing their second. Is he their best forward or their second best forward?
Who's that, Barnett?
Yeah, Barnett.
Yeah, he's their top forward. He's their, he's a state of origin player. He's their leader. Mate, Fisher Harris is is a leader also, but they lost Wade Egan prior to it for Sam Healy to go in. He's a gun hooker. Like, they don't win too many games without Wade Egan. He's a gun.
Well,
And
we beat them last year in round one when
next man up, mate. And they did the job. And it was, I know the guys had motivation in Metcalf and Healy, but come on, mate. That's like we were sitting in the top 4 a few weeks ago, and now we beat the Storm. We're going to be lucky to make the 8. I know.
No, that was one of my other worries on that observation. Remember, I said that it just feels like they think they're going to make the 8, and they're just chilling out. Oh yeah, we'll put a run together at the end, which is still possible. But how are you going to, like, we saw it last year. Remember, we got pumped by the Panthers, and then we came up against the Panthers again. So turning around 30 points against the Warriors in a finals match, how are we going to improve by that many points, lads?
No, mate. And it's going to be so much harder without KL Iro. Like, I can see what he's going to do. He'll throw Harodi in there till he's injured, then Talakai might fill in for a few weeks.
Come on, Paul.
So. He looked pretty damaging there. I know, mate. I know, but I can. It just
Talakai's looking fit.
Yeah, but this is Fitzy we're talking about,
Talakai's
mate.
In the centres.
Okay, then why is that on the bench?
Center.
Oh, mate, I agree. I think
if Talakai's not in the centres, I'd probably I was gonna yeah. All right, mate, Benny Turner's in the comments saying I'd rather watch reruns of Neighbours. Now, first up, Benny, that's going a bit far. And secondly, surely Home and Away is better than Neighbours, isn't it?
Oh no, Dr. Carl, he's looking a bit rough these days, so you're probably right.
Dr. Carl pulled some very attractive ladies in his day, though.
Didn't he? He's a rascal, isn't he? Wasn't he back in the day? Poor Susan.
Poor Susan, just tough time. Susan's probably a Sharks fan too, not having a good time. Mikhail Marcus says, I love CNK. Charles Nicole Clockstad. He was pretty good, wasn't he, lads? Chance?
Mate, he was good. Chance.
Get a real name.
Look.
What the hell's name is Chance?
I don't know. Just by chance that he got it. But, mate, Webby was talking at the start. He was saying that he had a great game last week, but what he was really impressed with was that he saved 4 tries last week, and he saved I think he saved 3 this week. There was that one on Braden Hamlin-Ueli there, who was certain to score. Mate, he's a gun. He's a gun, and look at how he returns the ball with intent. Mate, he's 40 meters.
He got the first try, didn't he? He got the first try, didn't he? Yeah.
No, Zalesniak got the first try. Chance was
Zalesniak. Yeah, well, I was getting the damn potato and gravy, so I didn't see. I knew someone jumped over the top of Harodi.
To be fair, so Harodi was for that one. Harodi was penalised. Yeah, just penalty for holding down Capewell. What it looked like, replay showed that his arm was under Capewell, and Capewell was holding on to him, not letting him go. Anyway, got away with it, and then they put a bomb up to Zalesniak over Harodi after what they'd said
popping up in the holes
before. Yeah, well, mate, we won't talk about Capewell popping up in holes, but yeah, and then Zalesniak just outjumped him, and Harodi had nothing, had no answer in defence. So he's busted, mate. But in fairness, Fitzy's to be fair to Fitzy, we had no one with Stone Street out, and Ronnie missed that. Ronnie missing that week hurt us.
Well, Ronnie's critical player for us. He's just so important, especially when we don't have Stone Street.
In a bit of a positive outlook, we got a challenge, right? Which also involved Harodi.
And you know what else we got it? We got it when McInnes was off the field too.
Well, there you go, mate.
So the Sharks finally get a challenge.
And with number 5 that got the challenge. We wouldn't see that if Ronnie was wearing the jersey, mate.
No, we wouldn't. Metalhead is in here again saying, how good was Sam Healy? You can respond to that one, lads.
Yeah, mate, he was good. He was quick out of dummy half. He throws some beautiful passes. Mate, he's, again, one that got away, one we couldn't keep because you can't deny Brayley. But yeah, he's definitely a star of the future, mate. I think Healy's gonna be a big name, household name in rugby league.
Yeah, but he's backing up Egan, so why wouldn't he have backed up Brayley?
He doesn't have to back up Brayley. Brayley's had 115 straight games.
Well, that's true. All right, let's keep working through these comments because we can see the regular dial-in legend who sat behind me in the ET stand tonight, 2.0, is in there. We'll just hit through these comments and then we'll get 2.0 in. Ryan James saying it's cooked. Wilbo Boggins in the comments saying top 4. We don't deserve to be in the top 14. And then Ryan James saying the Talakai Atkinson diabolical interchange handling should get the big Ange treatment. And then Ash Williams backs it up with a Fitzy has to go.
Mate, he's getting a bit of heat, Fitzy, isn't he? You might have been on the money early on, Boldo.
Yeah. Look, you talk to someone, they talk you around. Look, I think the thing is you've just got to back him that he's going to keep improving. But it's a lot of it also comes down to the roster management. With Ashley Williams then saying we'll never win a trophy with him. Maybe. Paul has come through in the comments saying saddest thing was watching 2 of our own juniors carve us up. Yeah, that was a bit tough. Hey, Paul, can you answer this one for us? And let's get this in the comments. Kale Hero's out long term. Talakite Centre, Paul, what do we do? Who knows? All right, yeah, let's talk about this with Mike Knight. The crowd atmosphere was weird. It was weird with the Sharks running out. We could hear Warriors supporters. I'm pretty sure it was the Warriors drums and the silence over the Sharkies fans. One guy that was with us, let's bring in 2.0 to go through that specifically. 2.0, whose entourage deafened me sitting behind me. And so I just want to say, I now know how annoying it is to sit in front of me in the ET stand because, goodness me, I'm deaf after that. 2.0, why don't you give us a response to that? What would you make of the atmosphere down at Shark Park?
Well, they didn't give us too much to cheer about, did they? That was just, I mean, I haven't got the words. My kids, deafening Boldo, that was probably the loudest they got all night. My daughter wanted to go after 20 to go, and I said, right, let's just wait and see. And 2 minutes later, I went, yep, let's go.
I tell you what, the stands emptied. They emptied 10 minutes to go. Even I left early. I don't remember me ever leaving early, actually.
That was as bad a performance as the Roosters probably, and then some, because they've had a week, like 13 days or 14 days to get rectified, to have a bit of a rest.
Yep.
2 weeks. Like, that's just ridiculous. Like, I agree with Lats tonight, which isn't often me and Latsy agreed. Nico was shocking. That short, I told Boldo at the start, that short ball on the 5th tackle twice. Why? He's got his long kicking game's not that great, but his short kicking game's fantastic, and he refused to use it.
Why can't we kick like Metcalf 2.0?
His long kicking game tonight. His long kicking game tonight was his short kicking game. That bomb he put up that went about 8 meters forward was rubbish. We needed that down in the back corner.
That was Trindle.
That one wasn't good.
That was Trindle.
No, that was Trindle's one that went off the side of the boot. Nico put one up from about 40 meters out on the right-hand side, and it literally went about 8 meters far.
Sucks to hear 2.0. What would you do? What do they do?
If I were to, Fitzy.
No, what do they do?
Mate, I'm out of fear of the loss. I'd blow it up and start again. I want a new fullback.
Are you sacking the coach?
I want a new forward pack. I'd sack everyone. At this present time, what are we offering? What are we doing? Like, we've had 2 weeks to fix our attack. That looked in crappy. Okay, we
get it in the comments. Is that too harsh calling to sack the coach?
No. Okay, I'd at least look at the assistant coaches. We got all defensive coaches there.
Well, this is true. We don't have an attacking coach.
Mate, we've got Josh Hannay there, and they're looking at him for a number 1 coaching role. Like, I'm surprised he have to go.
He wasn't. He wasn't. I'd get someone with attacking flair in there, like someone that can actually guide the halves. Because Nico's looking lost. Trindle's not doing much. I think Sione did. Either he'd come back too early by the looks of him.
Mate, he's
I actually had to check the stats.
Well, they had to rush him back, didn't they?
Yeah. Well, did they? Give one of the kids a go. That's not busted. Give a Michael Gabriel or a Chris Viella a go.
Yeah, Chris Viella
maybe
a good option.
Gabriel.
I don't think Gabriel's ready yet.
I don't know.
I think Chris Viella is. Yeah.
I almost shouted out at Daniel Atkinson, how does it feel to steal a paycheck? Because he doesn't do anything for us. He doesn't offer anything.
Mate, tonight he was that was probably his worst stint tonight, I reckon.
Well, he just doesn't. There's no strategy
never
or plan with
effective,
it.
but
It just looks lost.
The problem is this. When I was playing and I became a utility a bit, I play 5'8" center, whatever, and you don't know which position you're going to play each week. It's hard to figure out how you're going to play. If he's just getting chucked on because Euro's gone, but then they put Talakai out and then he goes to the middle, what's that going to do? It's not giving him confidence. You put him in his position, you go, right. And I think the boy said it earlier, Fitzy doesn't look like he's got a game plan for Atco. Have the game plan.
No game plan. Nothing.
No, but if he's in the team, you have to have a game plan for him. There is no game plan for him, so why is he in the team?
Look, I understand you rushed. I can get it this week while he was in the team because you've rushed Katoa back and probably too early.
Also, we don't have the forwards depth, so we're missing Hazelton and Rudolph. So
but you've got Tapua there. Tapua, there's Hohepa-Puru, but you also have Hiroti injured, so he's on one leg. So he's probably.
Why don't you play Atkinson on the wing then? Just play him on the wing.
Well, that's what I think Fitzy was expecting to do. I think he probably thought he had to, and I thought maybe when I saw Sione go down, he might have. But mate, I don't know.
Just that bit where Atkinson went on, and then he went off, and then Talakai went back, and the whole thing was a damn mess. All right, let's just chat about something else, which I found a little frustrating about the whole thing. So 13,747, I believe, was the attendance. It was jam-packed in at Shark Park. I didn't realize they could go beyond 13,500. So if they did go beyond 13,500, they might cop a fine for being over the fire thing. But I was just looking up at that northwestern corner on that hill. I've never seen that part of Shark Park. It was jammed. And it's just the frustration from the whole Leagues Club fiasco. The fact that we've got you just sit there and you're just banging your head against it. Like,
so many opportunities to make these things work, and we just didn't utilize them when we should have, and we weren't hard enough on developers and like.
No, they
you notice that shopping precinct. You notice that shopping precinct opened on schedule. They're not gonna take a backward step. We're not strong enough. I don't know.
It's about time Dino came out and said what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Because
it's just incredibly frustrating. Yeah, look, I think we'll talk about it more on Tuesday night episode. I'll compose my thoughts on the Leagues Club and we'll do a deeper dive on that. I'm not sure it's ever going to open. Ever.
No. I've got a bad feel. Like, it's going to be at least another 2 years, I reckon, 3 years.
Maybe. Might be Balmain Leagues. Maybe Balmain Leagues. All right, 2.0, give us your final thoughts on the match. And I won't ask you for a 3-2-1.
No one's deserving.
I'll give all 6. Well, I will give all 6 points to Blake Braley for his 150th. And I said to Boldo, we should have known it was coming because we don't do.
We don't do the. No, we definitely don't.
I don't know what to do. I honestly don't because obviously I like to watch it at home sometimes and rewatch it, but I'm not going to rewatch that. There's a few things like when we were playing that short ball, they're up in our face. You see that ball that they played short, and they stroll over without anyone touch because there was no line speed, whatsoever. We were done. I think Kennedy he gave me the absolute poops tonight. When he made that break, when Nico offloaded and they did a little shimmy, and he went through, Katoa's unmarked on the outside, ready for the wing, and he dummied.
Yeah, he kind of blew it with that one, didn't he? Do you remember that moment, Lats? Do you think he blew it?
Yeah, yep. Yeah, oh yeah, no, definitely blew it, mate. Definitely blew it. Katoa was open.
Like that. Got tackled. Money.
Yeah, what can you say?
But then
he's confident. He's still got no confidence. I don't know what it is. He has not recovered from that Origin debacle.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He hasn't. He's Breckham all.
He was flying in the Dally M, getting all the accolades when he got the Dally M.
Yeah.
And then the rug got pulled out from under him a little bit, and he didn't know how to handle it, and he hasn't handled it since.
Well, he's also been a little bit injured. All right, 2.0. We'll let you go, mate. So chin up. We will see you for another one. It was good fun watching the game with you down in the ET stand, nonetheless, mate.
It's always good, mate. All good, boys. Have a good night.
See you, mate.
See you, mate.
All right, that was regular dial in 2.0 saying, "G'day. If you'd like to join the show and have your say on the Sharks, should we ditch the coach?" As Shane, Shane saying ditch Fitz. Don't know, maybe. That's true. Then we've got George Stood. Hate to add salt onto the wound, but the Wires lost Egan for the game. Yep,
They lost him
true.
this morning. Yep.
And Shane H comes in. Nico Hines was more sideways than a nice head's jaw.
You're a poet.
Oh, Shane,
That's true.
just
Is that
on
Shane
fire here. I talk with my hand, Shane. Wilbo Boggins is in the comments. So we let them quick play the ball all game. They were able to find their frontmost tackles. It's purely coaching that isn't keeping up with where the game is at. Geez, the coach is just getting hammered here in the comments. Rob in the comments said, we have no strength and depth in the squad. No Tommy, Ronaldo, and others. We look flat without the leader to fire them up. Yeah, they looked a little. Yeah, there was a few comments that was coming in the ET stand. Was the commentaries around? There was just no one firing the players up. You know, the bit of angst that we get from Ronnie. Did we miss that tonight, lads?
Yeah, mate. Yep, we missed that that animation to rev the guys, and with AFB being a bit flat, mate, there was no leader there tonight. There was no one leading.
Yeah. They're just a mess, weren't they? All right, apparently the Broncos are beating the Titans. Broncos beating the clock against the Titans at the moment. We could drop 4 or 5 games very quickly. Zeke in the comments saying up the wires. All right, thanks for that. Kevin, it's coming through in the comments saying too many short balls in the attacking zone. We used to be able to spread the ball and do slingshot plays. Now it's just short ball to Wilton, short ball to Nicker. That is definitely true. The backline moves that we used to have with Moylan and Johnson, we just seem to have lost all those benefits from those John Morris days, haven't we? That is just completely gone.
Those real silky plays, we're just cluttered, mate. So unorganised when we get down the end of the field that and we keep getting caught with the ball on the last.
Yeah, just brutal. Mike Knight, during the Warriors warm-up, they looked fitter, stronger, and more enthusiastic. That's not wrong. And then Craig Gearin. So Sharkies coming up. Gets worse. We've got the Dragons, Broncos, then the Storm in Melbourne. Well, look, the Dragons will be looking to bounce back, and who knows what will happen with that Dragons match this week. Is that a Thursday night game? It is, isn't it, lads? Is that right?
Yeah, mate. Yep, Thursday.
Thursday where?
Thursday, so it's down here, I think, isn't it? Let me have a look. I've got the NRL site.
Come on, get it. Go have a look.
I've got it just here. It is Thursday night at home. Yeah, Shark Stadium, 7:50.
Thursday night.
We're $1.30 favourites to win that to St George, $3.55 currently.
We could easily lose that.
So
let's not fool ourselves on Thursday night either. If the Sharkies manage to beat the Dragons, the Dargans.
No, we can't buy into that. The Dragons, mate, they're going to give it a shake. They're sitting ninth. They're sitting fringe 8. They got pumped. Flano's going to put a rocket up them. They're down on troops as well. Tupolotto's out again. But, mate, I'm not comfortable going into this game. I said to a guy at work today, I said, mate, we haven't played tonight and we haven't played, so I'm not going to say a thing to you about the game last night.
Actually, Lats, I'm declaring it. Fitzy, Boldo's available. Pick me at centre. Let's go. I'll come out of retirement. Might not be able to run, but at least I can catch the damn ball.
Probably run quicker than Daniel Atkinson did tonight.
Goodness me. All right. Ryan James says, well, he just met some fans who travelled from Auckland for that, just in case we think we have it tough. That's true. Sorry to everyone who had to travel for that. That's a bit of mess. And then Trent is asking me can you give another plug, please, Boldo? What am I plugging tonight? Me at the trivia? Or just you in general, Trent? Just look at that handsome man. Can we just look how handsome
I don't want to know what you're plugging tonight, Boldo, but
Trent's plugging bloody his mate Sam, I think you'll find, is what we know what's going on. They'll be plugging each other because they've got nothing going for themselves. All right, let's move on. Benny Turner, going to rewatch Tuesday's episode, probably the best episode yet. The Tuesday night episode was good. The first 10 minutes, Benny, that was good work from me, quite frankly, is the only good thing the Sharks have done for months. And then a bit of love for Lats. I love your take, Scott. True rugby league fan.
What a legend.
Well, I do like you, mate. Samoan metalhead. You just like us because we took over the Warriors Warriors
Up TV.
channel. We're going to do a watch along during State of Origin, guys. So if you want to keep in touch with or keep us company whilst we're watching the watch along during the State of Origin, that's a good way. Lats and I took over the channel last time. It was good fun. Kevin in the comments saying Talakai needs to either play or start or do something to get more minutes.
Mate, as soon as him and Ueli came on, there was impact and we started to roll forward down the field. Put some nice little offloads in there as well. And this is why we need another forward on the bench over Daniel Atkinson, because Atkinson provides no impact when he comes on. Tapua's fit. Tapua's fit. There's no reason he shouldn't have been there. Billy Burns was fit. What did Billy Burns do wrong? He did a job when he was in.
Billy Burns looked pretty good, didn't he?
He did.
Billy Burns, yeah, he looked good. They just don't have it. All right, let's keep going through these comments. Good, there's a lot of comments. Shane H, tell us the story about the Cronulla Sharks Leagues Club, Boldo. You know that I can't tell you the real story on the podcast, Shane. So we might talk about it on Tuesday night. Oh, goodness me, the Leagues Club. Let's get some response. Lats, why don't you give us your thoughts on Kurt Capois?
Look, he was strong. Are we talking about on the field or off the field?
Oh, he was
off the field. Look, he hit some lovely holes, but look, he was strong tonight. He was
very strong. I thought.
He only missed. He only missed a tackle towards the end there. The commentators were pointing out. He's good, mate. He played the game and held Roddy down, which saw them get that first penalty, which led to their first try. And mate, our discipline is absolutely rubbish. This is the second game in a row where we have early in the first half have been on the back end of a 5-0 penalty count.
Oh.
How can you go forward with that?
It felt bad. There were a couple of square ups at the end.
At the end, yeah.
That's definitely true. Let's keep hitting there. There he is. Darbcore, you legend. That was me, still walking and crying. That's definitely true. Shane H giving us the comment, Atkinson still has a perfectly clean jersey. Did nothing again. That's right. Atkinson will wear the same jersey next week. A couple of Warriors guys saying, yep, you know who you are, saying that stuff and that stuff. Oh, here we go. Shane H. All right, let's get this in the comments. I heard Franco say something about a charity boxing match against 2.0. Surely
I'm going to put my money on Franco.
Well, he's just got that long
knowing
reach.
that he has to have. He's got the long reach, and he'll probably just feed himself off potato and gravy for for his whole training going into it. He'll bulk up a bit.
That's true. Sandor Clegane in the comments says real fans never leave early. And whilst I do agree with you, Sandor, real fans, this one has to host the podcast and get home as quickly as possible to host the pod. So I did see all of the game. I just wasn't in my seat for the last couple of minutes.
Real athletes don't make their fans want to leave early.
Yeah, that's true. Paul's saying drop Ramian.
I thought Ramian wasn't too bad tonight. I thought he was
dropped
one of the better ones.
Drop balls, Ramian. He can't catch the damn ball. He's like Will Kennedy.
But he's in defence on that side is pretty good. Look, mate, could have dropped the whole team after tonight's performance, though. Early on, Ramian was good.
I like it. Takoa might be right here. Settle down, fellas. How about giving the Warriors some credit for playing a masterful game against a team that had momentum and were expected to win?
Mate, take it.
All right, let's just break down this. I like you, Takoa. You're a legend. So let's just say you're right. We should settle down. And this is the instant reaction debrief, and it gets raw and emotive. So you're right to tell us to settle down. In terms of giving the Warriors credit, look, how can you not give the Warriors credit? They're missing Wade Egan, is one of their key guys. You've got the form, half of the comp, who quite frankly might be on a Daily M winning trajectory. It's hard to argue that he doesn't get the points.
State of Origin player in Barnett, missing him.
You lost a State of Origin player in Barnett.
Ford stepped up.
Forwards
Fisher
dominated the Sharks. Typically, the Sharkies had no answer. And your team's so good that Tuivasa-Sheck's on the damn wing. And also your centers dealt with our centers terrifically well. How can you
They
not
had
say the Warriors?
Rocco
are
Berry
not
was
the-
out.
How can you not say anything other than the Warriors are the real deal?
They're my favourites to win it. I think they'll win it.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It's Chris Kelly says in the comments, how are we favourites to win that game? Don't know. And then he says, Boo earns. Here you go. Super chat from SJD. Sorry that I missed that. Paying Boldo back for the egg he cracked on my face. That's true. That's right.
Coach
because it was
Fitzy there, is it?
Coach Fitzy. Because what was the thing? If I was going to get egg on my face, wasn't I going to have an egg thrown at my head or something? I can't remember what we
I'll
said.
do
on
it.
the chip. Oh, that's true. Sorry, SJD. And yes, one egg is $2 in this economy. That is definitely
Maybe I won't
true.
do it.
Thank you, SJD, for the support. Any of the super chats are going all into money, just back into the channel. I got some cool, fun stuff coming up, don't I, lads? We got some cool
Mate.
stuff that we're going to do as we're building. This channel together. But yeah, just shout out to Colour again. That's true. Ryan James is asking, whose cousin got the contract and ran away with? Oh, good. Got to ignore that comment. Here we go. Mikhail Marcus, quick question. Tamare Martin is in the same situation as Axon, but the only difference is Webby knows how to use TMM and Fitzy doesn't. I'm not sure if that's necessarily a question. I just think it's an on-point statement there. Mikhail, I think that is definitely right. And when we went through the coach comparison, like we did this on the Tuesday night show with the Wars Up boys. We did the pick your team based on the two teams. And the Warriors didn't get as many Sharks players in the team, but the Warriors are just a better team. Aren't they, lads?
Yep, mate, 100%. They are a better team. They are a better rounded team across the park. They're strong, they're young, and, mate, I think they're going to have success for many years.
I think that's right.
All
right, Ryan James. There's zero reason to extend the contract, though. We had him for 3 more years still, but jumped the Shark. Who was he talking about there? Oh, that's Nico. It's got to be Nico, doesn't it? Paul in the comments saying Nico and Wilton missed eight tackles each.
Well, I didn't notice that. That's poor. I know Nicola copped a whack in the chops.
He had a bad game.
Make a tackle, and he was worried about his teeth there for a while. He was split, but mate, he hasn't been that effective for a few weeks now. I don't know if it's Nico starve. I don't see Nico go to him too often. I see Nico cut him out.
Well, they're starting to work him out, aren't they?
Yeah. So I guess we're going to look at other options in attack on that side rather than just Nicola coming in on that angle. But I don't know, mate. It's a bit of a conundrum there, Fitzy.
Just got no guys in form. Looks like you've got a fan in Shane H. Lats. He just wants to know your thoughts.
Mate, I'm asking the same question. Where is the Leagues Club? I think it's at Cronulla Golf Course, isn't it?
It's hanging out with someone.
I think that's where it's going to remain because I don't know if there'll be another one on site in Woolwich.
That's true. Here we go. Shane H. also, I can't read that comment out. Capewell. Yep. All right, Shane, you're just on fire.
That's a glorious comment.
Actually, you know what I'm going to do to you here, Shane H. We can just do this. There's a function in this thing called put user in timeout. Shane, you are the first user who has ever been put into timeout on the ET stand. You have been given 10 minutes in the bin. You're off.
You need a whistle.
You
need a whistle. You just sent Shane Hayne to the sin bin.
You're off. You get out of here. Now, I know that you've got 5 other people with you, Shane. So you just comment as someone else or get someone else's phone, but I'm still going to sin bin you. All right, let's keep going through these comments. Justin Reggio, DJ Justin, no words for that performance. Need Ronnie back for some niggling. Geez, we missed Ronnie, didn't we, Lats?
Yeah, we just missed that intensity that he brings, as you mentioned before. Look, Hirotti's busted, mate. He looks shot. He can't jump for the ball. And, Roosters exposed it. They exposed it tonight. Dragons are going to try and do it again on Thursday. If Hirotti plays, that is. Because, mate, look, Sione was clutching at a back there for a while. So whether that's just a little niggle he's gotten because he's been out of the game for a while, out of the contact. So maybe he'll back up and it'll be Ronnie and Sione. But we definitely missed that that intensity that Ronnie brings.
Yeah. James Munro, classic fits mid-season implosion, an annual tradition since 2023. I actually misread that for a second, Jimmy, and thought you said it was a Sharks classic mid-season implosion. Same thing since 2003. Yeah, just the consistency under Fitz is a problem, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. All right, George calls out the draw looks difficult for the rest of the season. How do the Sharks get momentum back? We just need the players to come back, George.
How far off is Toby? He must be pretty close.
Yeah.
But, mate, the bench just grinds my gears every week when I see that name
useless.
up there. But look, we were like this too with the drop Moylan. Talakai's not a centre.
Never a drop Moylan.
Bring in Iro. Not from you.
There's never a drop Moylan. He's so good.
But Fitzy seems to persist for a lot longer than the fans want him to. So he's pretty stubborn in his ways. Look, I must say he got the Kale Iro situation right. He blooded him at the perfect time, and he's been.
Yeah, but he was in irresistible form.
Yeah,
wasn't he? Really?
He was.
Yeah.
But yeah, mate, I'm at a loss. I'm at a bloody loss.
All right. Clugsy says still unsure about Arati. What's to be unsure about, Clugsy? It's a good reserve grade player.
Yeah, he's a good reserve grade player. I'll put him in the same sort of category as Kyle Flanagan.
Oh, he's not as good as Kyle Flanagan.
Oh, that's debatable.
All right. We actually caught up on the comments. Now that Shane's been sin-binned, we don't have like the comments lying in everywhere. Gigaplex saying good outside chance of the Dragons game. Sharks will lose the next 7 to 8 games. Yep.
Reverse streak.
Possible. George Todd through with the super chat. G'day, George. Waz fans love your podcast. We love the Waz Up TV and the Waz stuff, George. We got a bit.
We just love Warriors supporters, mate. They're awesome people.
How fun are the Warriors supporters?
Mate, I went to Auckland back in 2010, and Casey my wife was working on Fashion Week over there doing makeup, and I just took myself around the town for a week. Mate, I ended up back at these guys' house for barbecues, and I'd never met him. I had no idea where I was. But to the best people you'll ever meet, mate.
Yes, so the Warriors fans, I tell you what was a really good story was when we had the watch along thing, and the Storm guy jumped on with the Warriors boys, and then the Storm guy just says, "Oh yeah, here we are with the Warriors guys, all of our fans. Yep, they support us until they play the Warriors, and they take their Storm jersey off, and they've got New Zealand gear on underneath because all of the people in Melbourne, they actually support the Warriors and not Melbourne, but they get along to watch some footy. So, yeah, George, you're not wrong. We have a terrific time and a terrific relationship with the Waz Up fellas. Ash is incredibly learned character on the football and does a good job calling it, and then Levon's just a beautiful human. We've had a couple of good stitches up on him though with Kennedy and what about the gag in Las Vegas when we made out there were no Warriors fans in the queue and then put up the Instagram thing. We have a terrific time with you guys.
The Kiwi internet.
And the Kiwi internet, and we took it over. So we'd like to get along with you guys. So George, what we're going to do in the off season, I'm going to do this. This is what I'm going to do for you, George, Todd. I am going to come on to Levon's channel. We are going to review the 2002 semi-final match where the Warriors knocked out the Sharks. We're going to do a full episode and deep dive on that match just because I like you guys so much. So shout out to you, George, and all the Waz Up fans and viewers. Support your channel. It's lovely seeing you guys come in here. And we do really appreciate, that we had the Pacifica jersey tonight, which didn't go as well for us. And we obviously...
the alternate
strip special jerseys. I think Williams might be talking about special jerseys this week. All right, we'll move off. Thanks, George. Pennell's 10 says Sharks, good team. They will come right.
Bit of positivity there, mate.
You're confident. And then Dev Era says, good win, boys. Well, I guess you're talking about the Warriors, aren't you? And then Mike Knight, the Sharks will come good again this season. Let's not throw them out while we currently throw up. Hold on, Mike. Up the top, you were saying that you were like vomiting. Hold on. Where are you, Mike?
That's what he
Knight?
said while he throws up. That's what he said. Let's not throw him out.
Yeah,
while
ready
I
to
throw up.
vomit. Yeah, right. Yeah, right, Mike Knight. Yeah, bumblebee tuna to you too,
He's been
Mike
into the
Knight.
tuna. He's too much tuna.
Oh, we're just getting hammered. All right, let's just go through. I'm going to go
Uh,
through and look at my notes here. So first up, we said catches win matches, which I said that. Remind us, shout out to
Mate,
our sponsor, Solve Accounting. If you want to minimize your losses around tax time, give the boys at Solve Accounting a good time. They look after my business and all of the ET stand stuff, and I'm still trying to convince them that my Sharks purchasing should be a tax deduction, but haven't been able to do that yet.
Mate, when you just said you're going to look at, I thought we had a special guest. I thought you said I'm going to look at my notes. I thought you said I'm going to look at Mark Noakes.
Oh no, Mark Noakes is not here. We've also if we ever get in, guys, if we ever get in the Sharks dressing shed, we're going to try and put an ET stand sticker on the esky. Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, we talked about Metcalf's short kicking game. Geez, he was just so good, wasn't he?
Mate, he didn't do a thing wrong tonight. He was cracker.
Look, there was a nice.
see.
There were a couple of. So
Good
let's
to
just talk through the bright spots. So Nicker and Hines did get us back in it with a nice break on the 30-meter line, and then Kennedy did milk the penalty pretty well, and then we stretched him to the left off that kick. That was a nice moment, but you know, it's not like it's few and far between. Like you'd almost forget that moment happened, wouldn't you?
Yeah, but the amount of unorganised play there down that end of the field, like on our, late in our sets, we do forget about that. Like there was a nice little rolling set there as soon as Talakai and Hamlin Ueli came on, and the boys were offloading, yeah. And mate, we 90 meters on in one set. It was just good to see, but I don't know.
Sin bins over, Lats.
Oh,
Shane H is back. He's back.
He's gonna go nuts.
Yeah, left friend.
Get your comments in now, people, because you won't get anything in a minute.
Jacko, I'm still smiling.
Step? Red card, send off.
I don't know. I'm still smiling here, Jacko. And then, Jacko, you're right. Metcalf or Hines is no contest now. You know what else I noticed? The Warriors took the 2 Lats. To get themselves up by 18 points to 10. That was just an obvious move, really. Wasn't even from that perspective. They just seem to have the decision making.
He's surrounded himself with good people, Webby.
Yeah,
he's got a good little training team there.
Yeah, we touched on the Qatar halftime.
Sorry, just in regards to Metcalf and Hines. Why we're seeing this is because Metcalf is a natural half. Hines is not.
Yeah, it's probably right. Played there all of his life. Other points I've got. Can we get some comments in here on the Katoa no try or could have scored in the corner on halftime, and if Kennedy did blow that or not? Can we get some comments?
When he came back in field and got caught?
Yeah, he came back in field. Can we just get in the comments if you think he stuffed that up? 2.0 was highly critical that I wasn't so sure. Let us know what you think in the comments.
He's just come back in. It's his first game of the season. Probably a little rusty. I thought he was pretty good otherwise, being injured. He was looking for work early and whatnot, like as he normally does, but mate, that last 20 minutes, mate, he couldn't walk. I'm surprised they didn't expose that more, the Warriors.
Yeah, that's probably fair. I can confirm that I wasn't chosen to kick the ball at halftime.
No solar panels for you, mate.
No solar panels for everyone. And then apparently there was a bit of a boil over with the halftime race. There was the team that won got disqualified for cheating. You know how they do the pass and then the person runs too early?
Yeah.
Apparently there was a disqualification.
Yeah, right.
Did anyone else notice that?
I didn't, because I didn't show it on TV.
BHU. He's just been no good for a couple of years, hasn't he?
Look, mate, he had some good runs. Like, just his hands were horrendous tonight.
Yeah, a couple of lazy defending. I noticed there was the lazy not covering the. So there's the moment when what happens is that the Warriors guys, I think it was a try for 24-10. They drew in the Sharks, third and fourth defenders, And then what happened was that they get an offload, and it was Teague and Trindle that were just not covering for that moment, and then they just carved us straight up the guts. Just a little bit of laziness and like, yep.
Yeah.
What
did you make? Sorry, I meant to ask you before, but what did you make of that that attempt on Trindle where Hamlin-Uele could have scored when Chance took him out?
Oh, I thought he took him out.
But you thought he took Uele out, or you thought Trindle was taken out unfairly?
Trindle was taken out.
Trindle's legs he came through and attacked with his legs and took out Trindle's legs from both sides.
Trindle was taken out.
I thought so. I thought that was
Trindle was
pretty harsh. Hamlin-Uele was blowing up because he thought he was taken out with a shoulder, but Chance had a hand
that one
across
was a
the
little
front
more.
of him. So that was instantaneous of him receiving the ball. But I thought the quick call to shut down Trindle being taken out, it was barely looked at, and it was called pretty quickly.
Yeah. I'm going to answer this question from Jacko. What happened to AFB? Was he injured or just invisible? I think your guys just dealt with him, Jacko. Just think he was maybe overawed with the match and took too much of it coming in.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's probably right. Let's just get to Adam's comment here. Every year under Fitz, we've seen a good chunk of players make a 10 to 20% improvement. All right, Adam, who's made the 10 to 20% improvement under the Fitz years? This year, I'm struggling to see any players that improved on last year besides Kennedy. Ceiling hit? ?
I think Kennedy's taken a dive the last few weeks too.
Was Kennedy ever that good, lads?
Mate, he had a good month, I guess you could say. A good 5 to 6 week period there. For us, I thought he was playing out of his skin, but he seems to have lost that. I know that fight in him. Letting balls go, like bounce the last few weeks, quite a lot of them, and they've pulled his pants down on numerous occasions from that happening, which have led to tries. Mate, I don't know. I'm starting to fall off the Kennedy train at the moment.
It's not like we can bring Liam Eisen in, can we?
No, that's right. Where else do we go from there?
Where else do we go?
So,
all right. Anything else we need to cover, Sharks fans? Look, there's a lot of us in here watching. If you're new to the channel, there's over 50 of you guys in here watching. Give us a like, guys. We've got four instant reactions there, so we can at least cheer me up and give us a like. And yeah, Jacko just reiterates, not gloating. Yeah, thanks, Jacko. You're definitely gloating, but that's okay. I think the Wars have the superior coach who has improved players like Ford by miles. That was the other thing that came out talking to the Wars up, boys. It's just the difference in Webby's ability to have developed Metcalf. Like, it's not like Metcalf went across to the Warriors and was like a world beater. But now he is a world beater. So that's not just down to Metcalf. It's like the system and the situation that he's in. And good luck to your Warriors. Like, you know,
the whole team are playing. You can tell they're playing for each other.
They're going to be tricky to beat in that finals. But yeah, losing Mitch Barnett. You can beat the Sharks without Mitch Barnett. Beating the Storm without Mitch Barnett's going to be a little bit tougher, I think.
Yeah. But in saying that too, like, which was pointed out in our Tuesday show, Warriors travel nearly every week. Like, so we can't be blaming travel. I know we were away from home for a long time, but
yeah, the Warriors are on some outrageous
anyone in the NRL and the sacrifices they make.
Yeah, can someone in the Warriors chat let us know? You've won some outrageous number of Sydney matches in a row. Definitely their highest ever, which makes it a little bit hard for us. All right, Lats, is there anything else you want to cover before we get into the 3-2-1s? No one's even given 3-2-1s from the Sharks fans. I guess we just
mate. I don't even think we should do 3-2-1s today. That was horrendous. I'll give you mine. I'll probably give 3 points to Talakai, just the impact that he brought. And I thought he was pretty good there at centre. He nearly scored on a couple of occasions. And, you know, his silky hands were good. From there, where do you go? I thought Iro maybe 2 points. I thought he was. I thought
Iro was all right. He did have an error, though, didn't he?
Yeah, and I thought probably Milestone man, Brayley. I thought Brayley was pretty good for the 1 point.
Yeah. Sure, he had a missed tackle or two, though, didn't he? Oh, goodness me, they all had missed tackles.
No, the whole team did. I'll have a look at Brayley's numbers. For his,
there you go, check that out. All right, well, for everyone watching, in terms of what we've got coming up, we have the Tuesday night show live at 8:30 p.m. on Tuesday night. Then I will be hosting trivia down at Sharks at Cronulla. And as I mentioned earlier, there will be a obscure question, which will be Toshio Lassini themed. So that's an interesting one for you guys to have a little bit of a sneak peek. Mike Knight in the comments saying KL and Talakai for the points. George Todd saying Blake only 4 runs, not good enough. Yeah, that's probably right. It's more just an emotional choice to give Blake Brayley the points, given it's 150th game for the Sharks. And then Nathan just confirming that the crowd was very flat from the start. And there was also the drums in the crowd. Was that the Warriors drums or was that Sharks drums? I don't know who was doing that. Did you hear that on the TV?
Oh, no, mate, I couldn't hear it. Couldn't hear any drums on the TV.
Okay.
I was too busy throwing the remote around the room, making my own drums. But Brayley, 8 missed tackles.
It's a lot.
And four ineffective tackles. So that is a lot. That was up there with T.
There's no man of the match for him then.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, KL and Talakai really.
Maybe Sione for staying out there busted. You have a point.
Yeah, Sione.
Look, Cam McInnes wasn't horrendous. I thought he played pretty hard, but mate, I don't want to give anyone any points, to be honest, after that rubbish.
All right. Well, look, Sharks fans, I think I've even settled down in the hour that we've been on. So I just want to say thanks to everyone for watching with us and getting involved in the comments. I think the best comment, I think we've got to give it to the legend who was who cheered me up on the way out. Where is he?
That's pretty cool.
Darbcore, that was me, still walking and crying. I'm going to give you the best comment of the night, even though there was a hell of a lot of them. Shane, you were unlucky. But
Samoan
apparently
Metalhead would have come close.
Samoan Metalhead was good too.
I think can we put 2 in the draw from tonight?
Yeah, all right, let's put 2 in. We're going to put in Samoan Metalhead and we'll put in Shane H as well. We put 2 in the draw for the display.
No Dub?
Yeah, Dub. Oh, yeah, not Shane. No, Shane's not going in. Goodness me, we're not giving that guy
Shane's going to the bin, mate.
Shane's lucky I don't get him arrested.
Mate, he's getting suspended next week. Sit a week out.
Exactly. All right. There we are, just showing. Simone Metalhead gave us a super chat as well. Just absolute legend supporting the channel. All right, guys. That was the ET Stand Cronulla Sharks fans podcast for the Sharks losing, what was it, 40 points? I don't even remember the score.
40 points to 10, mate. 40
points to 10 to the New Zealand Warriors. This episode was brought to you by Solve Accounting. Link to get involved with them is in the comments. We will see you guys for the live Tuesday night show, 8:30 p.m. Sydney time. We will be previewing the Dragons match and also trivia. I'll give you a sneak peek at that. And then obviously the Origin teams announced this weekend with no Sharks players named after that performance. For me, David Boldo.
Yes? Can I just jump in for 1 second? I'm just looking at the ladder. We're still currently sitting 5th. These last 2 weeks have brought our for and against back to plus 14, which is the lowest all the way down through the top 8.
Yep.
By quite a margin. Sorry, the Cowboys are minus 52, but apart from that, we're second lowest in the top 8, which is pretty poor.
Scotty, can you send me some muffins? Scotty McLaren is so upset I'm baking muffins right now. I don't know why baking muffins is going to help you. And the Ball Boys should be the man of the match. That's probably true as well. All right, Sharks fans, that was the ET Stand podcast, the Cronulla Sharks fans podcast. Tuesday night, we will get a reaction from Stephen Franklin. Will give us his more measured response as opposed to the emotional Bolderman and Scott Latino. Matty Williams will be live as well. We might do a top 5 worst jerseys that have gotten us bad results. I know that the high vis yellow will be number 1 on that list. Lats, good night, my friend. Good to see you. Thanks for jumping on.
Good night, buddy.
And we'll see you
mate.
guys
Thanks for having me.
Tuesday night. Up, Cronulla. Damn Sharks.
For over 50 years, people have come to see the Sharks play. Talent, skill, speed, intelligence, elite level athleticism. That's not these guys. Biased, one-eyed, opinionated, more often wrong than right, They make up for their complete lack of talent with pure dribble, gibberish, and enthusiasm. This is the ET Stand Podcast.